Okay, well, welcome to Psychology 150. I am Professor Phil Jordan, and I'll be your instructor throughout this whole semester, and hopefully everything goes well. So, this is the first week. So, here we go. So, the first thing I want to be sure of is that you've all been able to sign up for your textbook, and hopefully you bought the ebook because I know that the hard copy is very, very expensive. So, but if you got that, just make sure that you have an access code. But if you haven't bought it yet, then make sure you buy the online version because that will give you the ebook plus all the activities that you're going to be doing. Those of you that bought a hard copy, then you have an access code that will allow you to get into the Cengage site that's called MindTap and be able to access the assignments there. So this week, we kind of get the ball rolling. So if you have any problems with signing up for the textbook, in the past there have been some glitches with the access codes, and if you have a problem with that, then email me right away and I should be able to get it fixed for you within a day. And oftentimes quicker than that. So hopefully there aren't any problems, but there can be these glitches. We are dealing with technology, so be patient. This week, just a few assignments. The number one thing is get signed up for the textbook. In Blackboard, now the assignments are always going to be broken down, what's in Blackboard and what's in MindTap. So make sure you're going to both places, because I've had students in the past that kind of forget to do one or the other, and it really affects their grade in the end. So make sure that you're doing all the assignments. Now remember, on the first page of the folder, when you look at that, before you even click it open to look at the assignments inside there's a list of all the assignments. And so make sure that you kind of use that as a checklist, that you've gone through everything that's required for that week. It should mirror what's in your syllabus. This week we will kick off with, there's a little introduction that I'd like you to do, and make sure that you introduce yourself and then you answer one other person's introduction, just simply so you know that there's other people in the class. And then there is a little mini lecture, which will be each week. They go anywhere from 6 minutes to about 25 minutes. And then there'll be a little activity quiz that is associated with it. So this week, please make sure that you watch the tutorial on how to complete these assignments, because if you don't go through the whole process and you do end up with that blue clock, which is something you don't want to have happen, then that means somewhere along the line you missed a step or something didn't connect properly. And so there'll be one of those every week. So make sure that you, like I say, please watch that tutorial before you do that. Make sure that when you have any questions about any assignments, that you contact me or my TAs right away. Now, the other thing is there's a couple of short lectures on poverty. There's a little introduction one that's kind of an addendum. It has a lot of the information from your textbook. And then there is a couple of quizzes that are associated with those mini lectures. Also, there is another bonus film that you don't have to watch if you don't want to. But if you have time, I really encourage it. There will be films like this throughout the semester that I just want you to watch because they're really informative and interesting. So this one is on by Mia Birdsong, and it will give you an insight into poverty that the mini lectures can kind of get to where it paints kind of a negative image, but there's a lot of positive things that are happening with people that find themselves in poverty. And we don't know, yes, are there a lot of negative types of behaviors that are associated with it, from how the brain develops to performance in school and all of that. But we know that people can live in abject poverty, yet come out brilliantly and do amazing things with their lives. And we know people that are born into a very rich environment and have just the opposite types of results. So we have to be very careful when we're looking at those things. So I like the Mia Burnside because it does balance everything out. So then every week there'll be a little video like this that explains what we're doing that week and what I want you to kind of focus on. But if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to email me. Now again, with the emails, make sure you say, here's my name, here's what class I'm in, here's what section I'm in, and then here's my question or my concern. I do have between 300 and 400 students, so it just makes it way more efficient for me to go right to the class that I need to look at and find what I can do to help you. So, okay, so I hope that we have a great semester, and if you have any questions about anything, please don't hesitate to email me. It's a little bit easier if you generate an original email rather than hooking it on to emails that I've sent out to the class as a whole, because sometimes I don't see those. So make sure that you create an original email. Okay, so I'm just kind of checking my notes, make sure I've hit on everything, and I have. So hope we have a great semester and you really enjoy the topic. And always remember that when we're looking at psychology in any way, we're looking at ourselves. So there will be a couple assignments here where you take what we're learning and apply it to your life. So all along, kind of see, does this fit, doesn't it fit, because we are all individuals. And yes, we will talk about central tendencies and things that are kind of the norm, but I think most of us look at ourselves and we say, well, I'm not always quite normal. All right, I don't always fit the mold that everybody else fits into, and that's awesome and that's great and that's important to understand. Okay, so I will be talking to you again next week. If you have any questions, again, please get hold of me.